I am Monster Kody, born as Kody Dejohn Scott on November 13, 1963. I earned my notorious street name, Monster, when I was just 13 years old, after brutally attacking and disfiguring a robbery victim. I was deeply entrenched in gang life, a member of the Tthe gangster Crips in Los Angeles. But during my time in prison, which included stints at San Quentin and Pelican Bay, I underwent a profound transformation. I embraced Islam and became involved in the Republic of New Africa movement. My journey from a hardened gangster to a black nationalist is chronicled in my memoir, Monster, the autobiography of an LA gang member, published in 1993. Despite my efforts to turn my life around, I faced continued struggles with the law. In 2007, I was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department for breaking into the home of an acquaintance and assaulting him to steal his car. This arrest jeopardized my freedom, as it could have been my third strike under California's tough sentencing laws, potentially resulting in a life sentence. Eventually, I pleaded no contest to carjacking and robbery charges in 2008, receiving a 6-year sentence.
1963. Being raised in South Central and living majority of his life on 69th and Dinker, Munster was the second youngest of 6 kids. Munster was brought into the gangster lifestyle early, being around one of the founders of the Crips named Tthe. In his early years, Tthe would influence monsters. Later, cripping, Munster became an A-Trade gangster off his association with an A-Trade gangster named Tthe Ball. Tthe Ball co-signed them to the rest of the A-Trade gangsters. Initially, Kody didn't have a hood name, and the A-Trades didn't want him to keep the name Kody with another set having someone with the same name. But Kody later earned another identity. June 15, 1975. Kody had his initiation into the HRA Gangster Crips. 9 June 15th, Kody and 4 other A-Trade gangsters went into Brim's turf to put us in work. From his own words, this was the night he caught his first body, and from then on was a full-time gangbanger. By 1977, Kody ganged the name Monster after stomping a man for 20 minutes and putting him in a coma. The police said the person who did it had to be a monster, and the name stuck from there. From 1977 to 1979, Mr. Kody would be in and out of juvenile hall from various shootings and assaults. The longest stretch he did in that period was 9 months. By the time Monster got out of jail, the A-Trade gangsters and their once allies, the Rowan 60 Crits, became rivals off a fistfight, turning into a shooting with a new recruit, AJ Gangster taking the life of Tyrone, the brother of a well-respected Rolling 60 Crip named Big Rick. This forever changed a lot of the gang structure and the lives of many gang members, with once being friends now becoming rivals and other hoods having to pick a side. Over this period, Munster went all in a war with their new enemies, the Rolling 60s, and already blood rivals like the Brims and the Inglewood families. Summer of 1980, Munster mom asked him to go to a store with her. She often went to a store called Du Buddha Market. The store was located in the Rolling 60s turf. Munster got into a shootout at the store with a Rolling 60 member, which he had to do another bid for, but he beat the case. July 28, 1980, Munster's girlfriend just gave birth to his first child. On the way to the hospital, he drove into 60s turf, where he spotted a 60 he known as bank robber. He shot bank robber multiple times and drove off. By this time, Point Munster said to 8 trades lost up to 5 members in the 60s, lost up to 8. During this time period, the Rolling 60s took and held an A-Trade gangster sister captain for 3 days doing graphic things to her. A group of A-Trade gangsters seek revenge. They wanted well-known Rolling 60s like Petty Whack, Poochie, Keita Rock Mumbles, and Snoop Dogg, which they called well-known shooters from 60s. Not finding them, they found another 60. They chopped him up, and they later even took his arms as trophies. By the end of 1980, Munster had been set up by 3 women and ambushed by the Rolling 60s, being shot multiple times. 2 days after getting out of the hospital, Munster was picked up on 6 shootings. He stayed in jail fighting the cases. He once again beat the cases, though. By 1981, more and more casualties happened in the war to aid trades in the 60s, and Munster was frontline. Munster landed back in jail and received 4 years for a crime he didn't commit. It was sent to y'all later, going to YT.
However, I found solace in writing, making my fiction debut with THUGLFE in the same year. After serving 2/3 of my sentence, I was released from Pelican Bay in August 2012, but the challenges of my past never truly left me. My family was marked by turmoil and violence from the start. My father, Ernest Scott, was abusive, showing blatant favoritism toward his biological children and subjecting me to relentless physical and emotional abuse. The bitterness stemming from my mother's alleged affair with Dick Bass, a former Los Angeles Rams player, only fueled my father's cruelty. Despite my mother's efforts, our home was no refuge from the storm of violence and neglect. The streets of South Central Los Angeles became my sanctuary, a place where I sought solace from the chaos at home. At just 10 years old, I faced the harsh reality of gang life when I was attacked and robbed by older kids. With my mother often working multiple jobs to provide for us, I found myself drifting into the clutches of the streets. It was there that I crossed paths with Stanley "Tthe" Williams, a figure who would shape my destiny. Tthe, the leader of the West Side Crips, became a significant influence in my life. In his memoir, Blue Rage, Black Redemption, Tthe reflected on our interactions, expressing remorse for exposing me to the dark allure of gang life and drug abuse. Despite his regret, the damage was done. I was drawn deeper into the world of gangs and drugs, becoming a frequent user of PCP, a habit that would haunt me for years to come. In the crucible of South Central Los Angeles, my journey into the depths of gang life began at a tender age. Born Kody Dejohn Scott, I was thrust into a world of chaos and violence, shaped by a turbulent family life and the unforgiving streets that raised me. It was the year 1975 when the Tthe gangster Crips, also known as 83GC or ETGC, emerged in my neighborhood under the leadership of Sidewinder, a member of the West Side Crips.
Her brothers came, beat BB up, they were 60s, broke his rear, threw him in the trash can. Homies felt offended, we got to fight Friday. After school, we got to fight. You know how it is. They went on the side of Hobart, Friday, homies, head up. That's what we usually do. Them is our type, 60s is our dogs. We ain't tripping. Head up, handle that beef, squash it, step on. Fatty started fighting with Tyrone. Tyrone's brother was Big Rick, OG 60, rider, moneymaker, hustler, thug motherfucker. Him and Fatty fight. Boom, bad, boom, both big youngsters. Boo, bad, boo. Squalling. Fool named Daryl Oaks, the hood just recruited. He was originally from 9-0. Went around the corner, got the strap, the homie. Came back, he was on the hood like 2 days. He thought it was something more serious than just the fisticuffs, and that's all it was. And it's 79. Ooh, this is the 70s. It's September, 79. Man, it's still the 70s. It's all about this, fool. Fool come back with the heat, tell Fatty move, dump, boom, boom. Kill Tyrone, shoot him in the head and the chest. Shoot Bogart, boom, from the 60s in the stomach. That's the break. We all break too, like, damn! Man, what you tripping on? 60s coming to the hood though. Big Rick, the OG, Babyface, Baby Huey, Motor Mouse, 60s, OGs, killers. Coming to the hood. All they wanted to shoot her, kill their brother. They ain't tripping. Like, man, we want the motherfucker to kill my brother. So Big Rick said. We was like, man, we don't know him. We didn't. He just started claiming the hood in 2 days. We couldn't give him up. We didn't know the motherfucker. Fools them took it as a sign of us saying we ain't giving him up. We threw a big meeting, big Sidewinder, big Keystone, all them from the 60s, Big Joe Rat, Mumbles, Mumpy. Threw a big meeting at the park. The meeting became a big gang fight. It fell into name calling, disrespect. People started getting hit, bombed on. It turned a big gang fight. Pigs came, helicopter 40 feet off the ground, ran everybody off. From that point, September 27th, 1979, the Rolling 60s and the Tthe have been mortal enemies. They've killed over 20 of my homies And we've killed over, I'm sure, 27, 28, 9 of them. Black men, young men, unfortunately, just been getting cut down this war since September 27th, 29th, 79, man. It's hectic. I've been shot 7 times. I've been shot 6 times by rolling 60s. 6 times at once. One time I was robbing a man, was shot. The war's taking a toll. Every criminal act I've committed has been in commission in trying to destroy in some aspect the rolling 60s. Crip organization, and my whole life has been spent primarily on that mission. Today, even now, I consider myself a rolling 60 killer. Fuck, how much money I got, or whatever. Dude shot me 6 times, killed 20 of my homies. Motherfuckers I knew. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with. Played Pop Warner with. My mothers knew their mothers. Broken houses with these motherfuckers. Rolled bicycles. Swins. Nigga, I know red lines, no mongoose, nigga. Swins. Huffies. Nigga, I roll Huffies with these motherfuckers. Street King skates. Not no motherfucking big rubber wheels, nigga. Street Kings. Nigga, I'm 34. I was born in 63, not 73. I've been around, man, with the school, man. Graduated in 75. Went to the 7th grade. And that was it. Motherfucker had to represent. From that point forward, I've been in war with not only motherfuckers around me, but my own motherfucking self. Because I'm really a nice guy.
On the day of my 6th grade graduation, a pivotal moment in any child's life, I was courted into the ranks of the ETGs, a brutal initiation marked by violence and defiance. Armed with a stolen car and a sense of invincibility, I embarked on a mission with fellow gang members to confront rivals from the Brim Street Gang. In a flurry of gunfire, we unleashed chaos upon our adversaries, leaving a trail of devastation in our wake. It was a baptism by fire into the brutal realities of gang life, a path from which there seemed to be no turning back. As I lay in a hospital bed, my brother Kershawn sought vengeance for my near-fatal injuries, unleashing a wave of violence that further escalated the bloody feud between rival gangs. Despite the efforts of my assailants to finish what they started, I emerged from the crucible of violence, hardened and unbroken, ready to continue my reign of terror on the streets of South Central. Yet, despite the odds stacked against me, I persevered, finding solace in the written word and the power of storytelling. My fiction debut, Tthe, marked a new chapter in my literary journey, offering a glimpse into the complex world of gang life and redemption. In the years that followed, I continued to lend my voice to the struggle for justice and equality, publishing essays that spoke truth to power and challenged the status quo. But the specter of incarceration loomed large on the horizon, a constant reminder of the fragility of freedom and the ever-present threat of relapse. My final days were marked by struggle and hardship, as I grappled with the demons that had haunted me for so long.
While in jail, Monster got into an altercation with infamous Rolling 60 Little Fee, with both dissing each other's hoods, but didn't get to go further than that. While on YTS, Monster got introduced by a counselor to Islam and started attending services and later reading books about the Nation of Islam and revolutionary figures. Monster would be released in early 1984. In August of '84, Monster would have another run-in with Little Free from Rolling 60s, this time on the streets at a food place called the Golden Oxygen. Ended with Monster having a shootout with several Rolling 60s and Little Feat leading a charge. Neither Monster or Little Feat was shot, and both got out the situation. Monster couldn't stay out of jail. In September of '84, he went back to jail after Little Eddie from 60s identified him as being one of the men who shot him. Monster was placed in a notorious 4,800. At the time, Little Fee was there at the same jail for a banger, but while in jail, Little Fee charges became bigger with the shooting of football player Kermit Alexander. Family Fee was later charged with that and received life. While in jail, Monster joined a consolidated Crip organization also known as CCO. He was convinced by Tony Stacy from Hoover. Monster Kody got the name Sengika Shakur from a BGF member and later legally changed his name to that. In 1985, Monster Kody was sent to Chino State Prison to serve a 7-year bid. During his bid, the CCO began to fall apart, coming from many different things, like the Hoovers leaving the CCO and the Blue Notes, another Crip organization, becoming their rivals. By 1988, Mr. Kody began to start writing and was later paroled the same year. After starting a new path in life and trying to be a family man, he slowed down on banging and committing crimes. But he was later arrested in 1991 for beating Amanda for selling work in his hood. He was sentenced to 7 years for